If you hold XRP, you're gonna wanna watch this video because we have some massive news for specifically XRP and Ripple. And of course, we're having a lovely move to the upside for the cryptocurrency market. So I wanna keep you guys fully up to date with what is going on right now. So make sure, if you haven't yet already done so, subscribe and turn on those notifications. I'm trying to bring you guys a little bit of a different perspective here on YouTube. I noticed that most people who talk about XRP are 100% bullish, and I know that's a good thing, and I know you guys want to see that, but I think it's also good to see two sides of the coin. Now, I'm not here to tell you I'm bearish in XRP. It's one of the largest positions in my portfolio, but I like to take a look at this from the perspective of someone who's been in the market for the last 8 years, and I've managed to make a significant amount of money actually buying and trading cryptocurrency. So if you appreciate a slightly different perspective, subscribe and let's jump straight into it. So right now, breaking: SEC and Ripple have settled. The injunction is set to be dissolved. Ripple to pay 50 million, not 125 million. The remaining escrow funds released. Joint agreement filed with Judge Torres. The case is apparently over. XRP could potentially become fully unlocked from here. This is the moment we have waited for years. So here we can see it here. SEC vs Ripple Labs, and do go out and double triple check. I have checked and it does seem to be the case, but of course please always do your own research. But this is very, very good news. Now if we look at XRP's price, it's only up 5%. You would actually expect it to be up more than that, considering Bitcoin is up 3% and good old Ethereum is up 16%. But remember, the likes of Ethereum have been absolutely decimated in the recent pullback, whereas in fact XRP has held up really well. Right, we pushed to the upside. We saw a price of about $3.20 there, and we're only at $2.20. So it's held up really well. Whereas if you compare that with something like Ethereum, Ethereum over the year was as high, let's see here, this is back, this is 21, yeah. So here, 24, was as high as $4,000, and it's now at $2,200. So 50% down, whereas XRP is a little bit less than that down, right? So this probably means that Ethereum is going to have more parabolic days, but I think that potentially the market is slow to digest this news, and we might actually see a push to the upside. So you can see here on the XRP chart, we do have a break of resistance and then coming down to potentially retest previous resistance and flip it into a support. So very interesting, guys. This is probably going to create a bunch of traders doing a few things, but you can see we've been building our XRP position here, slowly averaging up, using our stop losses to make sure that we are safe no matter what happens here. So if you wanted to enter right here, what I would do personally is I would make sure I used risk management in case we get rejected or something changes. Right now, we do have Bitcoin breaking 100K, which is very nice to see. We've found resistance at 104,000, and we're down right now at 102,000. And what I ideally want us to see to make sorry, I just realized my camera is off. What I ideally want us to see to make sure that we can move to the upside from here is staying above 100K. Now, we may have a wick below. Maybe we come down to as low as that previous resistance and come back up. This would liquidate the traders, right? So what we have right now is basically no one is short and everyone is long. So if the market went down to just, here, look, if we just put it down, about 95,000, that'd be $5 billion of wrecked long liquidations, right? So this shows me that potentially we could have a liquidation candle or wick to the downside to liquidate those traders. So be very aware that that is possible. And if we do dip below 100K, it's not the end of the world as long as we don't start closing candles below. Remember, look at this. We were saying the same thing here. It was fine until we started to close multiple candles below. And then that was just the start of the downward motion. So learn from what we saw here and apply it to here. If we just look, look, this is a prime example right here. If we just wick below and we come up, and it is a couple of candles, so wick is the wrong word, but if we just go below and we start to then trend back up quickly over the next couple of days, you can then see there is room for the upside. So those are two examples of what might happen here in the short term, and especially because there's so much people going along right now, I'd expect downward momentum. But what I want to see, right, if we discount that, maybe it does happen, maybe it doesn't, is I want to see this sort of motion above 100K, right? We have this resistance. It would be absolutely brilliant if we could break through this resistance, but let's wait to see if that happens. What we want to see for altcoins is this: Bitcoin stays above 100K, because what did that do? It shows the market that we're a little bit safer, a little bit more certain. People will be a little bit more free with their money, putting it into the market. Right now, we're just about trying to break out of our Bitcoin season to head higher. You can see last time we broke into an alt season, it was very brief, and it was December 24. And if we compare that to where XRP actually broke out, you can see XRP broke out. What was that? Exactly then, right? We did make another high in Jan, but the first big push to the upside was right around when we broke into an alt season. So this is a great chart to be watching. blockchaincenter.net/altcoin season index. And you can check that out. So you can see if we break back into an alt season, that could be exactly when XRP is primed for its next move to the upside. Now, overall, the market is looking very green. Bitcoin is green, XRP is green, and a lot of altcoins are green. And what's interesting is meme coins are also green, looking at Pepe, Floki, and Brett here. And then we're seeing the likes of Jasmy, XLM, and some of these community-based coins that we've been speaking about. Big communities, massive. XRP I consider as one of those, because the community, like you guys, is so strong behind it. So right now, I'm waiting. I'm not taking profits from my XRP trade yet. In fact, yesterday, I sold some of my Bitcoin trade to buy more XRP. And then we did manage to make the best of this move now to the upside, right? We caught this, which is lovely. That's what we want to be doing. So we're now in about 21% profit because we've been averaging in. We started our position here, but we've been averaging into the position. So if you guys want to do something similar, I've managed to convince Blowfin, my channel partner here, to actually give us another opportunity here. So you can double your rewards up to $200 in XRP. So here, if you deposit, you can get XRP in rewards. So literally depositing and just trading on the exchange is going to reward you in XRP. I specifically told them I want my community to get XRP rewards. Everyone else given USDT, we want XRP. So the links for that are down there in the description. And not only do you can trade there on the futures market, you can trade on the spot market as well. It's a really good exchange. It works really well, really fast. And then of course we have the copy trading feature here that I've been copy trading. We're copy trading Quantoshi, and algorithmic trading opportunity. And you can see here, if we look at my trades, they got in at 96,500. My personal trade was at 74,000. But yes, that was a better entry. But because of Quantoshi's algorithms, it figured out that this was a bullish time to get involved. They got almost a Bitcoin worth of a trade here on 7x, and we are now riding that. So a completely different strategy that I use myself. That's why I'm finding this really interesting. Now, of course, I'm copy trading this with my own money. I've recently put more in because I want to see more of that upside, but please do your research before you get involved. If you do want to do your research into it and you want to potentially copy trade on Blowfin, there is a link to the description. You'll have to fill out a form in order to copy Quantoshi if you're already signed up to Blowfin, but I'll leave those links down there in the description. Now, if we look at the macro news, we see President Trump says Americans should buy stocks now. This country will hit a point that you better go out and buy stocks. He also said this country will be like a rocket ship that goes straight up. This is going to be numbers that nobody has ever seen before. So very interesting stuff there, guys. And what's interesting is, of course, this has moved the market up, and we can see very much so that normally, Bitcoin is attached to what the NASDAQ does. NASDAQ has been moving up. Bitcoin has been moving up. And guess what? Like I've said many times before, I believe that the price of XRP is also, at this point, completely connected to what's happening in the overall crypto market. So when Bitcoin is bullish, going up, XRP will probably also see pushes to the upside, and hopefully it will actually outperform Bitcoin. And that's what I think is the opportunity here in the market. That's why I bolstered my position yesterday, and that's why I'm not taking profits yet from my trades. So if you guys want to do something similar, remember we have that opportunity for Blowfin down there in the description, where all you have to do is deposit and trade. You can win and you can get yourself some XRP plus Blowfin, no KYC, no VPN, no personal details. You can access and trade from anywhere in the world. So I'll leave the links in the description, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.